Have you ever found yourself wondering, do they actually care about me or am I just holding on to hope? It's a painful question, but it's one that many of us have asked ourselves at some point in our lives. The truth is, we all want to feel loved, valued, and important. As human beings, we're wired for connection. We want relationships that make us feel safe, understood, and accepted. But sometimes, in our desire to be loved, we hold on to people who only give us the bare minimum. We convince ourselves that if we try a little harder, become a little more understanding, or sacrifice a little more of ourselves, they'll finally see our worth. But real care doesn't work that way. Someone who genuinely cares about you doesn't make you question where you stand. They don't leave you guessing whether you're important to them. You can feel their care through their actions. They check in when you're struggling. They remember the little things that matter to you. They make time for you, even when life gets busy. They don't have to be perfect, but they consistently show that your presence in their life matters. On the other hand, indifference tells a very different story. Sometimes people aren't openly cruel or disrespectful. Instead, they simply stop putting in effort. You're always the one sending the first message. You're always making plans. You're always explaining how you feel, hoping they'll finally understand. Slowly, without realizing it, the relationship becomes one-sided, and that kind of emotional imbalance can quietly drain your confidence. One of the biggest mistakes we make is believing words more than actions. People can promise they'll change. They can apologize beautifully. They can tell you how much they care, but words only have value when they are followed by consistent behavior. If someone repeatedly breaks promises, ignores your feelings, or only reaches out when it's convenient for them, those aren't isolated moments. They're patterns, and patterns reveal priorities. It's easy to focus on someone's potential. We tell ourselves, maybe they're just going through a difficult time. Maybe things will get better. While people absolutely can grow and change, real change isn't shown through promises. It's shown through repeated actions. If the same behavior keeps happening over and over again, it's important to believe what those actions are telling you. Another lesson we often learn the hard way is that our worth should never depend on how someone else treats us. When someone ignores us, we start wondering if we're not enough. When someone walks away, we question our value. But the truth is, another person's inability to appreciate you doesn't determine your worth. It only reflects where they are emotionally, not who you are as a person. You were valuable before they entered your life, and you'll still be valuable if they leave it. That's why healthy boundaries are so important. Many of us were taught that saying no is selfish, that putting ourselves first is rude, or that keeping everyone happy should always come before our own well-being. But boundaries aren't walls that push people away. They're healthy limits that protect your peace, your time, and your emotional health. When you say no to disrespect, you're saying yes to self-respect. When you stop tolerating unhealthy behavior, you're teaching people how you expect to be treated. And here's something worth remembering. People who genuinely care about you will respect your boundaries. Those who only benefited from your lack of boundaries may become uncomfortable when you finally start protecting yourself. That's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because the relationship was built around you giving more than you received. Perhaps the hardest part of all is letting go. Walking away from someone you once loved, trusted, or believed in is never easy. We stay because of memories. We stay because of hope. We stay because we've invested so much time that leaving feels like admitting defeat. But holding on to the wrong people often prevents the right people from entering our lives. Every bit of energy spent chasing someone who refuses to meet you halfway is energy. You could be investing in people who celebrate your growth, respect your boundaries, and genuinely enjoy having you in their lives. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't erase the good memories or deny that the relationship once mattered. It simply means you've decided that your peace, your self-respect, and your future are too valuable to sacrifice for a connection that no longer nourishes you. At the end of the day, the healthiest relationships are never built on chasing, convincing, or proving your worth. They're built on mutual effort, trust, kindness, and respect. So if you constantly find yourself questioning whether someone cares about you, stop listening only to their words. Watch their actions. Watch their consistency. Pay attention to how they make you feel over time, because the people who truly belong in your life won't make you beg for the bare minimum. They'll make you feel seen. They'll make you feel respected. And most importantly, they'll remind you that love should never feel like something you have to earn. Always remember this. Your value is not determined by someone else's ability to recognize it. The moment you stop settling for relationships that drain you is the moment you begin creating space for the relationships that truly help you grow. And that may be one of the greatest acts of self-love you'll ever choose.